All right, here is lesson 6 of real numbers. So what we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to compare and order real numbers. So we're going to compare, then we're going to put them in order. So when we compare, we use signs like less than and greater than. Okay, remember the alligator eats the bigger number? It points to the small number. All right, so 2 or, well, it's going to be really close to 3, so this would probably be 2.9, which is bigger. This one. Negative, so think about your number line. Negative 1.5 is right around in here, and this is negative 2.5 over here. Okay, and let's see, square root. What's close to, 144. That would be 12. Which one's going to be? It's going to be this one. Okay, when we order least to greatest, that could be words like ascending. It could be increasing. It could be a phrase like minimum to maximum. Okay? If we want to order greatest to least, we would use words like descending, decreasing, or maximum to minimum. Okay? So when we want to compare numbers, it's better to get them in the same form. So let's just kind of do a little bit of a review for this one. The decimal for 1/3, 1 divided by 3 is 0.3 repeating. And that percent is 33.33%. Okay. 0.2 is 20%. 1/5. All of this you can do on your calculator. So let's do 0.2. 0.2. Fraction to decimal. There's my 1/5. Okay. How do I make that into a percent? 0.2 times, percent means 100, right? There you go. So percent means 100. All right, 50%. Fraction is 1/2. 0.5. 2/3. What do you get when you do that one into your calculator? You get a repeating decimal. 75 is 3/4. 12.5%. Let's take this one and divide by 100. 12.5 divided by 100. 1, 2, 5. Let's change that into a fraction, 2/5, 40%. 1.5, well, that's 1.5. That's 150%. Remember, take 1.5 and multiply it by 100. Okay? So if we're going to put things in fraction form, well, do you want to use decimals or do you want to use fractions? I would prefer to use decimals. Decimals are always easy to compare. So what's the decimal? So that would be negative 875. You really have to think about your negative numbers, okay? So the closer they are to 0, okay, the bigger they are. Pi, pi squared. Well, that would be, we can do this on our calculator, approximately 3.14 times 3.14. I could also use the pi button. Let's see. That gives me something like approximately 9.8596. This is going to be a little bit less than 7. Pi squared is definitely bigger. All right, negative 60% or negative 75%, because it's that negative. All right. Oh my goodness, what do we want to do here? Well, square root of 60, let's see. Square root of 60 is 7.745. So 5 plus 7.7, what's the square root of 63? 7.9 plus 4, plus 7 is 11. It's going to go this way because I have 12 something and I have 11 something. Ugh. It took Kiara 35.25 minutes to finish her chores on Saturday, while it took her brother, Derek, 35 and 1/6 minutes to finish his chores. Let's take this 1/6 and change that into a decimal. So 35.16 repeating, and Kiara was 35.2, so it was definitely Derek by a smidge. All right, let's see what we get over here. Descending order, so that's our maximum to our minimums. All right, let's see what we get. So in order to do this, we need to know what we're talking about here. We've got 11. We just did this on the other side, 9 point something. What was that? 9.85 something, 9.85 something. Square root of 130. Square root of 130 is 11 point something. Okay, so descending order. So I want my biggest. And then 11.1. And then the square root of 121. And then pi squared. All right, so 0.65. If I have my percent, 6.5 divided by 100 is going to be 0.065. This is 0.6 repeating, and this is 0.5. And so this is in increasing order. So I would definitely have to start off with increasing order. So what's my smallest? 6.5%. What's my next? 1/2. What's my next? 0.65, which leaves me 2/3. Okay? Try the next one. All right. You should have gotten, for the next one, you should have gotten -11/2, and then negative, that's a big negative sign, and then negative, and then finally -25. Okay? 43% is 0.43. 2/5 is 0.4. 0.42. And what is 3/7? 3 divided by 7 is 0.4285. Okay, I put them all in decimal form, ascending. So what's my smallest is the 0.4. And then what's my next smallest? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, and then what's my next smallest? And finally, what's last? Okay, so if you change them all to decimals, it's much easier. Okay, so this is 5.5, 5.8. What's the square root of 26? Square root of 26 is 5.09 something 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 something, and 31 divided by 5 is 6.2. All right, decreasing order means we want to start with the biggest one. 31/5. What comes next? 5 point, supposed to be a comma. 5.8, comma. 5.5, comma. Okay? Put everything in decimal form. This one is 8.0 in a decimal, -7.9. 28/3 is -9.3 repeating, and 8 8.85. Okay, so this one is from greatest, so the biggest, and because they're negative, which one is closest to 0? That would have to be my -7.9. And then my -64. And then my -8 6/7, and then my -28.3. Okay, Today's low temperature for 4 different towns is shown below. List the towns in ascending order. So smallest to biggest, according to their temperatures. Smallest to biggest. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do decimals. So the square root of 48 is negative 6.928. Square root of 65 is not a perfect square. Negative 8.06, negative 7.5, 22 thirds, negative 7.3, repeating. Okay, smallest would be, these are all negative numbers. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Okay, so the smallest is going to be out here, which is Icetown. And then we get Shiverton, don't know. And then we get Little Flake, if you say so. Little Flake. And finally, Chillyville. Okay, don't want to live in any of these places. All right, you will have an assignment on this as well. Good luck.